Peeing as a trans woman? Oh boy, let me tell you and let me share my experience with you. Now, I figured this was appropriate because it's raining out. So what better time to talk about going to the bathroom than when it's raining, right? I recently had my bottom surgery, or GRS, SRS, whatever you want to call it, in March of 2022. I'll have a link to the video right here. I have a 3-part of part 1 of pre-op. Part 2 is the surgery, and part 3 is the aftercare. Now, I don't really touch base too much on how to pee after surgery, but let me tell you, it is one of the most interesting parts of the entire process. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle, and thank you so much for watching. Make sure you please comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. I also have Instagram, you can check it out right there. I do like to upload daily, sometimes 2-3 times a day because I am a little obsessed, but that's okay. There are worse things to obsess over. Now, on to the video. So, peeing as a trans woman. After I had this surgery, the most interesting part of all of it is learning how to go to the bathroom. Now, you would think, why do you have to learn to go to the bathroom? That doesn't make any sense. Well, you have a catheter in for up to 2 weeks, and now your muscle is completely relaxed. And you have a lot of swelling going on, and your body is now not used to that feeling of having to actually go to the bathroom, of you making it have to go. After all is said and done, you finally get home after having your catheter taken out. And one of the things you have to do is you have to figure out how to go to the bathroom. Easier said than done, let me tell you. I went to the bathroom when I came home. So I drank a lot of water. I drank a lot of fluids to try to help speed this process up. And finally I said, oh, I think I have to go. Now, let me remind you, my body's used to having a catheter in. There's still a ton of swelling, so there's a lot of pressure for you to have to try to go to the bathroom. So, yeah. I go, okay, I think I have to go. So I make my way to the bathroom, and yeah. About 40 minutes in, no luck. Couldn't go to the bathroom. I didn't know how. Now, let me explain why. We're used to a thing. The stream, your bladder, has to go and pass through. Now, over here in your body is kind of where the muscle is that you use to hold all of it back. So we're used to releasing, and then it has to travel along. It's not the size that matters. So anyway, so now it's passing along, and then the stream, right? Okay. Male anatomy, done. Well, once when you have the bottom surgery, this is now this. So you no longer have from your bladder all the way down. You now have from your bladder to that muscle, and then it's out. But you have to figure out how to release that pressure. And it's so hard because of all the swelling, and because of you're still numb from the surgery, so it makes it very challenging to have to go to the bathroom. And I know this is like a strange video, but nobody ever talks about this. And this was one of the things that before I was going through the surgery, I kept looking and I kept asking different forums and people and group chats and everything. I said, what is it like to go to the bathroom? That's what I want to know. And I know all of you have that in the back of your mind. Don't say you don't. You don't say you've never questioned how does it feel like to go to the bathroom, because I guarantee almost all of you have. So, yeah, I'm not the only weirdo here. And I could never find like a straight answer. Same thing as like, what does it feel like to have the catheter in? Like, I never found, and no, I would never get a straight answer. I never found videos on these things. I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 that I found, very obscure, very hard to find. Yeah, it drove me nuts because I had these questions and I wanted answers. I wanted to know what I was about to go through before I did it. To say, I went through it anyway, and I had to learn it and do it myself. So now I'm taking that opportunity to share my experience with all of you, so that way you can have that answer that I could not find. Leave some comments and let me know what else do you want to hear about? What do you want to know about? I have no problem sharing my experience. If that's going to help somebody, that's all I want. I don't care about the rest of it. I want to make sure that everyone has the same knowledge and the same how-to, or can get answers to the questions that they have. And maybe I don't have all the answers. I would like to think so, but I don't. I don't have all the answers, but I can share what I've gone through and what I had to feel. So unless you let me know what you want next, I don't know how to answer your question. So please ask, and I will gladly make videos. Okay, so on to the feeling. Finally, so after sitting there for 40 minutes, I had to clear my mind, and it sounds super silly, and it sounds really funny, but I had to literally clear my mind of all thought, and I had to focus all of my attention from here to here. Okay? I had to make sure that I was so hyper-focused on that area of trying to figure out how to make it go to the bathroom. And now I didn't want to push because I was terrified of actually, sounds funny, pushing my insides out. And I was so scared that I was going to do stuff. So I didn't want to push a lot. I didn't want to give it that extra pressure. So I did a lot of like super relaxing, breathing, like all these different things to try to make myself go to the bathroom. And it sounds so silly. But what I found was it actually worked. After finally relaxing, and I did my last video, I talked about relax, let things happen. And in my last video, which I'll put a link to here, I talk about relaxing and I talk about letting it happen. I can't express that enough, is to relax and let things happen. And that's the hardest part, is to just relax. After finally relaxing and staying so focused on that area and breathing, it finally started to trickle out. And boy, what a strange feeling that was. It felt like it was teleporting. I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it felt like it was there and then there. It was the most bizarre thing in the world. Especially for peeing for the first time as a woman, it is the most exhilarating, and I know how stupid that sounds, but it was so exhilarating for me. I was so excited. I was so proud that I was able to finally pee, and I was myself. And I remember I just kind of ran around. I was so excited. I didn't know what to do. So yeah, it's quite the experience. And once when you do go, it's like, oh my God, it's the most amazing thing. Now going 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. Can you keep going? And believe it or not, you actually start having fun. It's really strange to think about, but you actually have fun because you are now finally you. And that's what makes this whole experience, that's what makes all of this worth it, is you to be able to be yourself. How you feel inside is now externally as well. And that's amazing. That's what this all is. That's what this is all about. That's worth living for me. Like, I waited my whole life for this moment. After a while, the peeing just becomes so much easier and it becomes supernatural. Now, there have been instances where when you are going to the bathroom, it kind of sprays everywhere and it makes a mess and it goes on your leg. It's kind of like spraying up your leg and it's all over the place because there's so much swelling and you're trying to, nothing is kind of settled into place yet, if that makes sense. Some people do have to go back. Now, I'm not trying to scare you, but some people do have to go back and get a revision. And the revision is they have to adjust where your urethra is and how the stream actually comes out. It could be angled too much at a certain direction, so that way it's, making too much of a mess or a spray or, I've heard different stories. Fortunately for mine, it's at first, because of all the swelling, it was kind of like a little bit of a mess, like it was kind of spraying everywhere. But after about a week, the swelling, really started kind of coming down, and I was able to kind of pee a little more normal, and I paid attention to that. It just made things definitely a lot easier, and after my appointments, they ask, how is it going to the bathroom, and so on and so forth, and I would explain to them, it's working okay, it's going okay. So these are the things that you want to pay attention to. So I hope I was able to answer all the questions and thoughts that you had about going to the bathroom. Strangest video I'll ever have to make probably, but I think it was definitely one that was worth making, one that was needed to be done, and something that needed to be said because I know we're all thinking it. So thank you all again for watching. Thank you all so much for the love and support that you have shown me, for all the grateful comments, for all the comments you guys leave me, and the hearts and everything. I love it so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And here's to a new year for all of us. And I'll see you guys in the next one.